What's up, guys? My name is Miles.
And my name is Fez.
And this is The Commodity. And today we are relearning about Malaysia's government system, the correct way, hopefully. Now, we did a video a few days ago on Malaysia's government system, and a lot of the information was apparently incorrect.
Or it was covering things like corruption and stuff
right.
like that.
So we do apologize. Don't hate us for it. We didn't create the video. We were just suggested to react to it as we are to this one. So if this is, guys, if you want to suggest videos to us, hop in the description. There is a link to our Discord down below. This video in particular was suggested by Lemongrass06. Thank you. Got some errors in it and misinformation. Let us know in the comments.
And we are not going to do research before we do the video. That makes zero sense for us. You guys are our teachers. We are watching a video to learn. And then if there's errors or if you feel like it left something out, that's when y'all come into play and help us out. Because this is kind of how reaction channels, number one, work. Which this isn't always going to be a reaction channel. It's going to change.
Yeah, we're about to travel the world and show you guys and take you guys with us. But while we are doing the reactions, obviously we can't research or watch the videos prior to doing the video, or it won't be a true reaction.
And it will be a very boring video. Oh, we know exactly what's coming up. We know what's going
up. It'll be like a lot of those fake reaction channels that you see.
Have you ever it's like going and watching a movie with a friend that has seen the movie 10 times, and they're
they're gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna say
You're
it.
Gonna like
I'm not gonna say it.
All
right, before we hop into this video, guys, if you would go ahead and like this video. Also, if you would go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon. That way you guys can stay informed on our future videos. And if you'd like to help support the channel even more, you can click the join button down below. So let's check this out.
I did want to say that if we have questions, we don't want you to take it in a negative way, because we don't have monarchy here in the U.S., and to be perfectly honest, we fought against a monarchy to become independent. So that was our understanding is very different. And then you also got to understand, we don't have even though Christianity is very, very, very big in the U.S., we still don't have a national religion. So those are some things that are very foreign to us. And until we started doing the reaction channel, we had no idea.
Right.
So please don't hate us for being curious, and nothing but love.
Yep.
Yes, come to me.
As the supreme law of the land, the Federal Constitution, or the Constitution, essentially sets up the three main institutions needed to govern Malaysia, namely the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. The Parliament consists of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the House of Representatives, or the Dewan Rakyat, and the Senate, the Dewan Negara. They make, amend, and abolish laws in line with provisions in the Constitution. The Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Prime Minister, Cabinet Ministers, and Civil Service make up the government, which run the country according to laws passed in Parliament, which themselves must be in line with the Constitution. As for the judiciary, the several types of courts in Malaysia include the civil courts, the Sharia courts, and the native courts, of which the latter only exists in the states of Sabah and Sarawak. These courts resolve legal disputes.
Hold on, go back one more. So the Sharia courts is the ones that mandate Sharia law.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Soraya.
Oh, Sharia.
I think.
Syrian.
Latter only exists in the Sharia courts,
Sharia.
and the native courts, of which the latter only exists in the states of Sabah and Sarawak. These courts...
But what I'm getting at, those are the courts that push, or not push, but... handled the Sharia law.
Possibly.
Or Muslim law.
Yeah, so let us know in the comments, is that what those courts are for?
Yeah, let us know. Again, just curious.
Resolve legal disputes, including but not limited to those between individuals and or corporations, as well as between individuals and the government. However, the sole arbiter over the constitutional division of powers is the Federal Court, the highest level of civil courts in Malaysia. Any disputes between states or between states and the federal government can only be brought to the Federal Court. The primary judiciary system in Malaysia...
Well, actually, in the U.S., individuals can go to federal court.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that only if they were being charged by the state.
Well, you can fight the state.
Yeah.
Like if there's a, so the only time you're going to get to that level of court is if the only thing that our federal court does is it defines or translates the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, fighting Roe versus Wade, which was a abortion law fight, that was done at the highest level,
Mm-hmm.
and it was about abortion. But it at the state level, it had to do with the Constitution,
Right.
and your constitutional rights as a woman and all this and that. So that's where we differ there.
Yeah.
So
is a federalized court system that functions uniformly nationwide. The Sharia courts, however, function in parallel to civil courts and only have jurisdiction over matters of state Islamic law, which
Okay.
involves Muslims.
There we go.
The provision of different separate functions and powers for these three institutions is outlined in Article 127 of the Constitution as the separation of powers. It simply means that the power to govern the country is divided between the three different and independent bodies, ensuring none become too powerful. One makes and passes laws, the other enforces and executes these laws, and yet another interprets and practices the law.
Okay.
A
So
built-in
exactly the
check and
same
balance
way.
system
Yeah.
is
More or
automatically
less.
created, as each institution will check and monitor what the other does. There exist three tiers of government in Malaysia: federal, state,
And
and
local.
local.
Same
And
here.
core differences between these lie within their respective jurisdictions of power. Schedule 9 of the Constitution details these jurisdictions,
It's
covering
British.
what they can and cannot make laws on. For example, the federal list of Schedule 9 covers matters such as defense, national finance, and federal holidays. The concurrent list covers things such as social welfare, scholarships, and the protection of wildlife. The state list covers Islamic law, agriculture, as well as local government, while the supplemental list for Sabah and Sarawak covers native law, agriculture, forests,
This
and
is the
other items
confusing
that are
part for
particular
sure.
to the two East Malaysian states. However, both the powers of the executive and legislative bodies tend to be vested in the federation rather than the states. It's also stipulated within Article
Any
75
state
that
is
the federal
inconsistent
law
with
will
federal law.
always take precedent and override inconsistencies between state and federal laws. Similarly,
So does that mean? Okay, so for example, so we have some states that have legalized marijuana, whereas, in fact, it's the majority states now. But we have some states that are not. However, federally, it's against the law.
Right.
So I believe that that's what they're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
Like if you're kind of stepping out of bounds, out of something that's illegal federally, which technically that's the rule here. But it's just becoming more lenient, the acceptance of marijuana.
Right.
But that's interesting.
It's similar.
Yeah, a lot of this is super similar. However, they have parliament
Right.
versus what we have, and yet they also have what's it called? I just went blank. They have a king. So this is really interesting.
state governments have their respective executive and legislative bodies, albeit with some minor differences. Each state government is created by its respective state constitution, with members elected into the state legislative assembly, unlike the two-chambered federal legislative system. For the 9 states of Johor, Negeri Sembilan, Pahang, Selangor, Perak, Kedah, Terengganu, Kelantan,
I like
and
Kedah. That's a
Perlis,
cool name.
their heads of state are the respective monarchs. However, the heads of state for the states of Pulau Pinang, Melaka, Sabah, and Sarawak are their respective Yang di-Pertuan Negeri, which is interchangeably addressed as the state governor.
Monarch.
The state
That was the word I
governments
was
themselves
looking for.
are led by chief ministers who come from the majority party in their respective state assemblies. Each state also has its own executive council, or cabinet in the case of Sabah and Sarawak, that are answerable to their state assemblies. While both the federal and state governments are elected, the local government is not elected by the rakyat. Local council elections were suspended in 1965 due to the Konfrontasi incident and have not been reinstated since. Hence, local government officials are often appointed by state governments, acting as indicators of where the interest of each state's ruling party or coalition lie. The three types of local authorities, or pihak berkuasa tempatan, are City Council, Municipal Council, and District Council.
Very similar
Local
to us.
authorities are
Yeah.
responsible for
So I do have a question. So for the the few states that have, it's 4 states that don't have a monarchy.
Mm-hmm.
How do they get representation for their states?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because they'll never have anybody at the highest level.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's only if you're talking about the monarchy of the entire country. I'm sure
Right.
they have representation in parliament.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just looking at it just because the monarchy does mostly like ceremonial type stuff, is what I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Where parliament is elected officials. Does every state have representation within the parliament? Please let me know down in the comments. I know I'm asking a lot of questions. I really love. We don't talk about politics, but I enjoy politics.
Yeah.
for urban planning, basic facilities and infrastructure, monitoring development, public health, waste management, business licensing, maintaining the peace, urban beautification, as well as
Urban
encouraging the local
beautification.
economy. City and municipal councils must provide revenue collection activity
Gentrification.
and facilitate sustainable town planning for their citizens, whereas district councils are more focused on providing infrastructure facilities and public utility services. The population size and financial revenue of an area essentially determine what type of local authority operates there. However, in some instances where a local authority has the capability and capacity to generate additional revenue and achieve the specific requirements, they can be upgraded to the next level of council. This happened in December of 2019, where the Cabinet granted the approval for Majlis Perbandaran Subang Jaya to be upgraded to Majlis Bandaraya Subang Jaya.
Very
That last
interesting.
little bit was too much. I couldn't keep up with that.
Yeah. That was very interesting.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot more similarities to us to them. Different, but very similar. So I thought that was really cool.
Right. Yeah. And definitely, guys, thank you for all the recommendations that we've been getting. If you want to recommend any more videos to us, go down to the comment section below, or preferably click on the link in the description to our Discord, and you can suggest your videos there.
Hit that like button. If you want to see our future videos, subscribe and hit the bell notification. And if you want to support us directly, hit the join button. And with that being said,
My name is Miles.
and my name is Fez.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
Out.